Pernah? Oke. Tonton. Oh, apa? Banyuwangi Big Jazz. Waktu itu siapa artisnya? Kalau dalam bayanganmu musik jazz itu seperti apa? Musik jazz menenangkan, bisa untuk belajar. Dalam bayanganmu untuk musik jazz Indonesia siapa? Kalau Syaharani bisa mengikuti nggak waktu itu? Bisa. Oke. Sekarang ada yang pernah tahu musik jazz Banyuwangi? Penyanyi jazz Indonesia yang muda-muda? Oke.
Faris RM.
Kamu usia berapa?
Ya 14.
14 tapi zamannya Faris RM. Kamu suka lagunya Faris RM yang mana?
Sakura.
Senada cinta bersemi di antara kita. Sayang kamu masih 14 tahun. Mamanya dia temen aku. Oke, Faris RM. Selain Faris RM ada gambaran? Sinten Pak? Kita kelihatan usianya ya, Bill Saragi. Bill Saragi temannya Bill Clinton, temannya Bill siapa lagi ya Mas? Bukan billing aja. Kamu bisa musik jazz nggak?
Saya kecere aja fales saya Kak.
Dan kenapa di sini Mas?
Ya, siapa tahu bisa main kecere di Amerika nanti.
Oke. Nanti kita main bojo galak di sana ya. Oke, sudah? Oke, sudah ada gambaran Mbak. Dalam.
Terima kasih Ira.
Iya, thank you Mbak Asti.
Halo. Kita akan segera mulai. Beberapa hal aja yang ingin saya sampaikan. Yang pertama, acara ini akan ada yang mau tampil. Ruki, karena waktu kita cuma hari ini. Oke, jadi kalau bisa diajak main, ayo kita main bareng. Gak pede, gak tahu, cuek aja. Gak ada yang tahu kalau belum belajar. Oke, semoga teman-teman bisa menikmati pagi hari ini dan kita langsung ke Gabrielle dan tepuk tangan.
Halo. Ya opo kabarera? We're gonna start with a song and then we'll get to work, okay? Great. You want treble, high, mid? No, just right on it. Yeah. Used to lead a quiet existence. Always had my peace of mind. Kept old man trouble at a distance. My days were silver lined. Right on top of the world I sat. But look at me now. I don't know where I'm at. I was doing alright. Nothing but rainbows in my sky. I was doing alright till you came by. Had no cause to complain. Life wasn't as sweet as apple pie. I never noticed the rain till you came by. But now, whenever you're away, can't sleep nights and I suffer all the day. I just sit and wonder if love isn't one big blunder. But when you hold me tight, it's a tingling all through that I feel somehow. I was doing alright, but I'm doing better than ever now. I said I was doing alright. I had nothing but rainbows that love isn't one big blunder. But when you hold me tight, it's a tingling other that I feel somehow. I was doing all right, but I'm doing better than ever. Love, I'm doing better than ever. Thank you. Terima kasih. Thank you so much. So, we're going to talk. We have a nice amount of time together today. So, I think we're going to do quite a bit of talking about jazz history and how jazz, what it sounded like when it began, and then some of the ways that it changed through the years. And we also want to make music with you guys. So, can you raise your hand? We have singers here. I have vocalists. Who are my vocalists? Vocalists? You don't have to just raise your hand for me. Don't hide. Who's hiding on me over here? Where are my singers? Yes? Yes, great. You don't have to get up. Just singer. Any other vocalists? Vocalist? Okay, I can see that this person probably sings. And then instrumentalists, who do I have? Instrumentalists? So what do you play, please? Drums? Piano? Who else? Anybody back here play an instrument? Sing? Are you lying to me? I feel like I saw your friend just hit you, so I'm assuming that means, come on, tell her. Don't worry, we'll get you up here. Guitar, I heard? Who plays guitar? These two? Guitar? Okay, so we've got some players. And I know Harun is here. Great. Okay.
Testing 1, 2. Thank you for coming today. It's wonderful
Yes.
that you all came out.
Terima kasih.
Well, whether you play an instrument, or you sing, or you don't, today you will do something with us. Gabrielle is going to get you singing, clapping your hands, stomping your feet. We're here to have some fun. It's a whole day of freestyle. Okay? Everything we do today will be freestyle.
Yeah.
Like when you take a picture. And when you take a picture, okay, I'm going to take a picture, and you go like this. Every time someone says, okay, take a picture, and we go like this. Okay, ready? Okay, but that's kind of tight, though, right? That's kind of...
You tell them to smile and they go.
So we like to feel more freestyle picture. Ready? Like this. Freestyle. Okay? That's better. That's more fun. Right?
Okay, I was asking if we need to translate
Great,
that.
thank you.
Okay, a little bit aja. Jadi hari ini mau teman-teman itu main musik, mau bisa main alat musik, mau penyanyi, mau nggak nyanyi, tapi semuanya nanti akan gabung karena hari ini kita akan fun. Kita semua sekali lagi semuanya terlibat. Kayak si Pat bilang, kalau misalnya kita pas foto cuman oke, foto kan boring ya. Tapi kalau freestyle kita semua ada energi. Hari ini kita judulnya adalah freestyle.
And today is the day to try something you don't think you can do. Right?
Hari ini kita mencoba sesuatu yang berpikir sesuatu yang nggak bisa aku lakukan, tapi kita akan coba lakukan.
There's no grade today. There's no right or wrong. We just ask that you try. Okay?
Nggak usah khawatir. Kalau ditanya vokalis, saya nggak pede. Nggak usah khawatir. Nggak ada benar, nggak ada salah, nggak ada hebat, nggak ada enggak. Yang penting kita semua mencoba sesuatu yang baru.
I know one thing. When I heard the gamelan music today, I wanted so desperately to jump up on that stage and play music with them.
Satu hal yang dia tahu pada waktu tadi di upacara pembukaan, saat dengar musik gamelan dimainkan, dia pengen langsung naik ke atas panggung dan ikut main bareng sama pemain gamelannya.
And I know nothing about that music, but I want to learn too. So we're here to learn as well about your music and your culture. As we hope you might be interested in what we do.
Ya, jadi padahal dia nggak punya pengalaman dan nggak taw gamelan itu seperti apa. Tapi ada sesuatu yang menarik dari gamelan yang ingin dia tuh membuat dia ingin mencoba. Jadi di sini tidak hanya berjalan satu arah, dia juga ingin belajar dari teman-teman musik dan kebudayaan teman-teman. Seperti halnya dia berharap nanti teman-teman setelah pulang dari acara ini juga mendapat sesuatu pengalaman baru dari.
Great. And oh yes, Harun, come join us, please. So we have Harun Hasibuan joining us on the keyboard today.
Ini kita datengin jauh-jauh dari Surabaya loh.
No, we have 2 sessions, right? Like we're going to take a break.
Yes,
So how long for this first?
For the first session, we're gonna end up around 11:45 to 12.
Great.
And then we take a break for lunch, and then pray, and then we continue again until around 2:30.
Great. Okay, great. So, it was very, I bet, Pat, I was surprised when they said, what do you think of when somebody says jazz? And people said elite, expensive, complicated. And I can understand, in a way, why people think that. Because in some ways, it has become that.
Ya, tadi kan waktu di pembukaan kita nanya ya, teman-teman kalau dengar musik jazz pendapatnya apa sih? Ada 3 tadi, elite, terus mahal, terus complicated atau rumit gitu. Si Gabrielle bilang dia terkejut juga sih orang punya pendapat semacam itu tentang musik jazz. Tapi bisa ngerti juga karena memang perkembangan musik jazz lah yang akhirnya membuat jadi orang punya persepsi bahwa musik jazz itu adalah mahal, elit dan rumit.
But when jazz was created, it was created by poor people. It was created, by slaves. And a lot of, like I've been talking about, a lot of the great songs that were written in the 1920s and 30s and 40s were written by Jewish immigrants in the United States. So
agak kaget juga ya, karena padahal sebenarnya musik jazz itu pertama kali tuh yang memperkenalkan adalah mereka-mereka yang menjadi budak. Jadi kalau teman-teman belajar sejarah Amerika kan di Amerika sempat ada perbudakan ya. Mereka kaum budak inilah yang menciptakan musik jazz. Dan kemarin juga sempat menceritakan bagaimana kaum imigran Yahudi juga yang mengembangkan musik jazz di Amerika.
So we definitely hope that you walk away today feeling like you can also sort of have ownership over this music, because I think that's the spirit of jazz. Jazz is protest music. Jazz is for the people. It's not for the wealthy few.
Ya, jadi kita berharap dengan kita kenalan sama musik jazz hari ini, nanti teman-teman pulang tuh punya sedikit rasa kepemilikan terhadap musik jazz ini, karena sebenarnya musik jazz ini adalah musik dalam tanda petik protes. Musik kaum biasa gitu. Ini bukan musik yang didominasi oleh kaum-kaum yang kaya aja.
And that's actually a great segue. So, where did jazz begin? We're talking now, it was poor people. Who started it? We can't say really who. We don't know exactly when. But we know that jazz began in New Orleans in the United States. Have you guys heard of New Orleans? Yeah, in the south of the United States. And it's important to know that New Orleans was a port city in the south.
Ya, kita kalau untuk tanya sejarah jazz, kita nggak bisa secara persis mengatakan siapa dan kapan musik jazz itu dimulai. Tapi kita bisa bilang gitu ya, bahwa musik jazz di Amerika itu dimulai pertama kali di New Orleans. New Orleans itu adalah salah satu bagian negara bagian di Amerika Serikat di selatan dan merupakan satu kota pelabuhan.
So because it's a port city, you've got people, coming in from all over the world. So the musicians who lived in New Orleans were hearing lots of different music. They were hearing music from people who came in from Spain, people who came in from France, and also there were African slaves who had been brought to New Orleans. And on Sundays, they were allowed to congregate in a part of town called Congo Square, and they could dance and make music. And so the musicians living in New Orleans heard these African rhythms, they heard Spanish rhythms, they heard European harmony. They heard all these different musical influences, and it all seeped in
Jadi karena New Orleans adalah sebuah kota pelabuhan, otomatis kan pasti banyak ya pendatang. Jadi ada kapal datang dari Spanyol, dari Prancis, kemudian ada budak-budak Afrika yang dibawa. Dan pada hari-hari tertentu mereka ini diperbolehkan untuk berkumpul di satu lapangan, namanya lapangan Kongo. Dan mereka tuh boleh main musik. Jadi musisi-musisi di New Orleans dengar pengaruh dari Eropa, pengaruh dari Spanyol, Prancis, Afrika, dan mereka main musik di sana.
And just another thing that I think is, when I was sort of learning about the history of jazz, something I thought was very interesting was that when the American Civil War ended, it ended in the year 1865, there had been all of these army bands, just like there's an army band today. There were army bands during the Civil War, and they had played all these brass instruments. And when the armies disbanded, poor people were able to get these instruments very cheaply. And so they taught themselves how to play the instruments, and they taught themselves all these melodies just by listening. They played by ear.
Nah, kalau teman-teman juga ini sekaligus belajar sejarah Amerika ya. Jadi kalau di Amerika itu pernah ada perang sipil antara utara dan selatan. Ketika perang sipil itu selesai, Angkatan Darat Amerika Serikat seperti hanya Angkatan Darat Indonesia dan Angkatan Darat Amerika sekarang, mereka pasti punya band. Ya kan? Kalau kita sering lihat ya, pakai seragam militer, mereka pakai band. Nah, mereka bermain band. Nah, alat musik ketika mereka sudah selesai perang dan mereka kembali, alat-alat musiknya itu ditinggalkan dan bisa diambil atau dipakai oleh mereka-mereka yang kaum yang tidak punya atau kaum yang kurang beruntung. Jadi, maaf. Jadi, ketika mereka mendengar alat musik, memainkan alat musik tersebut, mereka hanya memainkan berdasarkan apa yang mereka dengar gitu. Karena kan mereka nggak pernah formal belajar musik ya. Jadi cuma mereka mendengar, terus ada alat musik dicoba-coba gitu.
Right. And so what happens when you never read music, if you only play it by ear, it changes a little bit, right? Because you don't have it all written out in front of you. So the beautiful thing that happened was that because they were self-taught and playing by ear, they made these melodies their own.
Ya, jadi karena tidak belajar musik lewat secara formal, ada partitur, ada tangga nada, mereka hanya mengandalkan suara dan otodidak, justru iya betul, feeling. Jadi ada satu melodi-melodi indah yang tercipta dari belajar sendiri itu.
Great. So we are going to bring Harun in now. We're going to sort of use this one song to demonstrate some of the ways in which the rhythms developed and the harmony developed from these early days. So the song we're going to play for you is called Honeysuckle Rose. Now maybe when you hear it, some people might recognize it. It's a very well-known standard. It was written by a African-American pianist, singer, and he was known for being a big personality. His name was Thomas Fats Waller. He went by Fats Waller. That was his name.
Jadi nanti bersama Mas Harun, ini pianis yang kita ajak dari Surabaya, nemenin Pat and Gabrielle, mereka akan memainkan satu lagu untuk menunjukkan bagaimana sebuah lagu itu berevolusi baik secara ritme maupun melodinya. Ini lagu judulnya Honeysuckle Rose, right? Ditulis oleh salah satu komposer kulit hitam Amerika Serikat, dia seorang pianis dan juga seorang penyanyi yang luar biasa yang kalau menurut bahasa Inggrisnya itu punya big personality. It's Thomas
Fats Waller, because he was a big guy.
Thomas Fats, karena dia gendut katanya gitu. Kita lihat ya, kita dengar bareng-bareng.
Now, well, let's play a little, and then I'll talk a little bit about how these instruments, the piano or keyboard and the bass, did not exist in early jazz bands, and there was no drum kit. Anybody want to take a guess why?
Nah, kalau pada waktu musik jazz pertama kali muncul, itu belum ada alat musik seperti keyboard atau bass seperti yang dipegang oleh Pat, atau misalnya drum. Jadi belum ada. Ada yang bisa menebak nggak? Kira-kira kenapa?
Yeah, go for it. Who cares if it's the wrong answer? Come on, let's get it good.
I don't know exactly why.
Why could you not have a keyboard or a big bass or a whole drum kit in an early jazz band? Anybody?
Gak ada jawaban benar salah, kita coba aja. So they had not been developed.
They had drums, right, but they didn't have this stationary kit. And there was an instrument in the band that sort of played the same role as the bass. But the reason is because early jazz bands were marching bands. And you can't march. Well, you could march with that. Pat could march with it. But if he really had the big bass, hard to march with. So instead of a bass, there was a tuba. You guys know what a tuba, that big boom, 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 boom. That did the work of the bass. No keyboard, obviously, right? Really, Harun could not march with that keyboard.
Well, he can.
I'm sure you're quite strong, but that's too much. So they had banjo. Somebody would play the banjo. They had drums, but it was like a marching band drum, where you sort of wear the drum and you play it as you move. And then they had what they called the front line. All these brass instruments, cornet, trombone, clarinet, making up the front line, and then that was the rhythm section in the back. So that's you're right. I mean, the keyboard hadn't been invented yet. So that's another reason why the early bands didn't have that. But really it was because jazz wasn't even like a music played inside yet. It was, and in New Orleans, they still have this tradition of bands that march through the streets and play music. That's still a big part of the culture there. When there are parties, when there are funerals, there are still bands marching through the street. So we're going to play Honeysuckle Rose. Sorry, I promise I'll stop talking at some point. We're going to play Honeysuckle Rose, and we're going to play it in a style that, is similar to what it might have sounded like in this early time period. Yeah? You want to set up a little intro?
Ya, ini jadi kita akan mainkan lagunya dan akan dimainkan dengan cara atau aransemen seperti pada waktu awal-awal masa jazz. Nanti kita lihat perubahannya.
Bubble, bubble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop and sigh, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. I don't buy sugar, you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar, so sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, how the honey fairly drips. Your confection, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Thank you. So that is sort of what early jazz sounded like. Now, what do I mean by that? So, can you guys all stand up for me? Stand up, just where you are in your square.
Teman-teman bisa berdiri bareng-bareng, kita nyanyi bareng.
And what I would like you to do, first, let's listen. Yep. Go ahead. Let's just 3, 4. So we hear that boom, 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 boom. Right? So I know some of you play instruments. Do you guys feel like you have some knowledge of music? Or is there anybody in here who doesn't study music at all? People know? Okay. So in music, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's the beat. So one measure, each bar of music is 4 beats. Sorry, we do that at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. All 4 beats are still there, but there's an emphasis on 1, 3, 1, 3. So march. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Do you feel that? Feels very square, we would say at home. Feels the jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Good. Great. Harun, like this early jazz piano, you guys can sit for a second, was called stride piano. And that's because, where were you? Thank you. So will you really play for me like that? So if you look at what Harun's hand is doing, his left hand, that's where stride piano gets its name. Bump, bump. He's really moving in the bass of the lower notes of the piano, yeah? So that was how early piano worked. Again, this emphasis on beats 1, 3, 1, 3. Good. Now, let's talk about Buddy Bolden for a second. So Buddy Bolden was a cornet player. Cornet, like a kind of trumpet. And he is sometimes credited as the father of jazz music. He was somebody who played by ear, and he changed the melodies of the songs that he heard to fit his horn and the way that he liked to play it. And he was somebody who, again, combined different influences. So he heard stride piano, or ragtime, it's sometimes called. He knew black, religious music. He knew marching band music, like more European style marching band music. He heard all these things. And he was one of the first people to really combine them, which created something new. He's also the one who brought more modern instruments into a jazz group, more string instruments. So he brought music inside, where you could have a piano, where you could play a big bass instead of a tuba, and this drum kit is really an assembly of all the different drums that people would march with. It's the same drums, it's just that they sort of all took shape into this one kit, like we know it now. Should we do some syncopated stuff? Great. So Buddy Bolden is also somebody who's credited as bringing syncopation to jazz music. Have you guys, raise your hand if you've heard the word syncopation before.
Ada yang udah pernah tahu tuh syncopation itu apa?
No. Okay, great. So do you want to talk about syncopation? All right, we'll play it. Yeah, and then we can talk about it. So stand up again.
Ayo, berdiri lagi yuk, kita coba yuk.
Okay. And now Harun and Pat are going to play a type of rhythm that's called a Charleston. It's like, I wonder if it gets its name from Charleston, South Carolina, right? That Charleston is a city in the south of the United States. It's okay. Yeah. Right. So we've still got, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I love that you're tapping your foot already. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want you guys march again on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So you're marching on 1 and 3. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There was a dance that went with this called the Charleston. This is how people did the Charleston. Hang on, keep playing. Keep going. Listen. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's right before beat 3. Yeah? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 Don't be late. 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have sticks, please. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, all four beats, still there. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. So, good. Thank you. So, the emphasis, you guys can sit down. So the emphasis, you guys were clapping it, is now on the off beats, we would say, right?
What we're doing is subdividing the beat. If Hans plays a very straight 4 beats per measure, please play. Ching, 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 ching. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every honeybee filled with jealousy. Da 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 da. 2, 3 da da da. 1, 2, 3, 4 da da. Okay, it's very straight. Now, if you play 8 beats, put in that same amount of time. You play 4. Clap your hands on 4, and he's going to play 8 beats. All right. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Okay. Do you see what's happening here?
Same amount of time. Still 4 beats. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now, he could even make that more by putting 16 beats in. Ready? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So you can keep adding beats, but they get smaller and smaller and closer together. So as jazz progressed through the years, those beats got smaller and smaller, and they started to utilize and put together the different rhythms that were available. So that's why syncopation comes in. A very simple syncopation is, if you do all 4 beats, that, 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 but, got, that, 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 that. Go ahead. I'm going to give off beats. Now here's the off beats. That, 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 that. So what am I doing? Anybody? What am I doing? And the off beat. Okay.
Something that I don't stop. I just want to say, for me, like when we started and we were doing 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That feels kind of like down 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you were just doing
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That, 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 that.
Makes sense? It feels very different. 1, 3 feels kind of heavy,
That,
marchy.
that, 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 that. that, 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 that.
Yeah.
It was considered kind of, it was a little bit scandalous. It was like if you were elite, if you were sort of a high-class person, you did not want anything to do with jazz.
Oh, itu. Jadi Pak kebalikannya. Tadi kita sedikit ngomong masalah syncopation tadi atau masalah beat. Tadi kalau beatnya 1, 2, 3, 4 kayak kaku gitu ya. Nggak enak juga kan kalau buat dance gitu. Terus tadi ditambahin yang lebih rapat tadi jadi lebih. Have I done? Okay, it's a surprise.
What have I done?
What have I done? Okay. Jadi itu lebih fleksibel dan lebih lebih relax untuk dance. Jadi pada awalnya sebetulnya musik jazz adalah musik untuk mengiringi menari. Dan pada waktu awal-awalnya dulu tuh kalau orang elit atau orang yang kelas atas itu malah nggak mau diasosiasikan dengan musik jazz. Buat mereka tuh kayak nggak, bukan kelas saya. Tapi sekarang malah kebalikannya ya.
Great. So this is what syncopation means, right? Now I think you guys have a better understanding. And I think it is important to feel this music, you know? It's like you have to feel it with your whole body to really understand a rhythm. It's not enough to read it or talk about it. You got to feel it. A 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to sing Honeysuckle Rose again. And with, instead of bum, 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 they're going to play this Charleston beat, this syncopated rhythm. I'm still singing the same song. Keep that in mind. Instead of every honeybee feels with jealousy. Okay?
Ya, jadi ini kita dengan lagu yang sama yang tadi dinyanyikan, tapi dengan tempo yang berbeda gitu. Kita lihat ya nanti perbedaannya. Lebih enak mana?
Right on it. 2, 2, 3. Every honeybee feels a jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, but goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop inside, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Go back to 2-beat for me. I don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup, old way. You're my sugar. So sweet when you're Charleston, please. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips. How the honey fairly drips. Your confection, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Thank you. Do you hear the difference? Right? I mean, it's a big difference. For me, and this is laying the foundation for what becomes swing music. Because, and you please add what you want, it leaves much more space. It allows me, as a singer or an instrumentalist, if I'm a horn player, it gives me a lot more freedom in how I can phrase the melody. When there's that heavy emphasis on beats 1 and 3, B fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Then I'm a little bit locked in. When we play Charleston, flowers droop inside, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. I have a lot more space to phrase the music differently. Yeah?
And in those early times, that instrument right there, the one that says sonar on it, the bass drum, back in the marching days, the bass drum player would have the drum in front of him. Okay? And years later, of course, it ended up inside in the dance halls, and it became what they call the bass drum. And he has this thing that he hits it with his foot. Okay. Now he would play it on all 4 beats, like this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? The bass would do. Thank you, bass drum. Years later, as they got into what they call swing music, especially when the big bands, do you know about the big bands? Count Basie Band, Duke Ellington, you've heard of them, right? Big bands were piano, bass, drums, sometimes guitar, and then maybe 16 horns. Down in the front, there were 5 saxophones, there were maybe 5 trombones, and maybe 5 trumpets. Okay? So 15 horns. And at that time, it was really deep into what they call, it was a dance music. It was the dance feel, all that syncopation allowed for people to get up and dance.
Yes, I also want to, we're going to move now into the 1920s and 1930s, right? So we've been in the early 1900s. Buddy Bolden is somebody who's moving this music forward. He's changing it. He's making it more syncopated. He's changing the melodies. And somebody who he influenced, Buddy Bolden, was a big influence on quite a few instrumentalists, but most notably Louis Armstrong. And Louis Armstrong really, ran with this idea of making the melodies your own. And that's where improvisation comes in, which is such a huge part of jazz music. So have you guys heard the term improvisation? Yes?
Kalian pernah dengar term atau kata-kata improvisasi? Pasti pernah dong. Ya?
So what does it mean?
Artinya apa dong improvisasi? Sorry? Doing something different?
Okay, yes.
Anything?
Yeah. Being free, love that. Making up something on the spot, right? Just like you don't plan ahead. And that was something Louis Armstrong was so good at. He had these extremely melodic but very playful solos when he played the horn. And people, it feel like it exemplifies the way he played really just shows the energy that comes with improvising, with making up melodies on the spot. And he's also, sorry, go ahead.
Jadi improvisasi itu juga sesuatu yang kita langsung lakukan di tempat. Jadi nggak mikir, nggak direncanakan, tapi kita langsung melakukan. Dan musisi tadi Louis Armstrong, salah satu musisi jazz yang sangat berpengaruh di Amerika, yaitu sangat bagus dan sangat punya keahlian di improvisasi. Jadi kemampuan dia mengimprovisasi nada-nada ketika dia memainkan alat musik itu mencerminkan energinya yang luar biasa.
He's also considered the father of scat singing. Is this a term, scatting, that you guys know?
Pernah
you heard this?
Si Louis Armstrong ini juga dianggap sebagai bapaknya atau orang yang paling ahli di scat singing. Tapi teman-teman pernah ngerti nggak scat singing itu apa? No?
No?
Oh ya. No, it's kind of no. Gimana?
Yeah, some kind like that.
Some sort of that.
Very good. So it's singing, you're singing a melody, but there are no words. It's all these sort of nonsense syllables. Right? That's Louis Armstrong. Have you guys heard Louis Armstrong? Right? He sounded like he needed to clear his throat all the time. Yeah, that weird, amazing, but very strange voice. Nobody has ever sounded like him. Do you want to tell the story of how he... Okay, well, Pat I had never heard this story. He just told it the other day when we were doing this. He said that the reason Louis Armstrong, the story goes that Louis Armstrong was in a recording session, recording some song, playing and singing. Let's say it was Honeysuckle Rose. So he was playing, here we go. Reading the lyrics. Every honeybee feels a jealousy when it's you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. And then the music fell And he knew the melody, but he didn't know the words, so he just went boop it, ya did meow. Boop 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 ya do meow. So that is allegedly, who knows? That is supposedly how Louis Armstrong invented scat singing. So, should we move on to swing, Phil? What do you want to do? Okay, so 1920s and 30s. Right, so we've got Louis Armstrong. Oh. Yes. We've got Louis Armstrong, who's this really important figure of the time, bringing more improvisation, more freedom to the music. Did you want to say anything else? And that it was...
But with that, people were dancing to this music. It was dance music. People left their homes at night to go and dance to these bands, especially the big bands, the 20-piece bands with all the horns and the rhythm section. And the vocalists out in front, that's where Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby
and Ella
Fitzgerald all come from. They come from dance big bands.
I think I understand why you guys said, like, what do you think of when you hear the word jazz and you said complicated? Because it has become more complex, right? And it's become a music that you sit, and you listen to while you're smoking and drinking a cocktail. But at this time, during the 20s and 30s, like Pat said, that's not what people did with jazz music. They went out and they danced to it. It felt good. It was like this joyful... it had this incredible bouncy beat that was so much fun to dance to. At this time, so it's also, recordings are becoming more popular in the 1930s, which means the music is spreading outside of New Orleans. It gets to New York. It gets to Chicago, and it's starting to become maybe a little more sophisticated, but it's changing because you guys are influenced by Banyuwangi, right? The life and the culture here. And if you write music, that culture that you've grown up with it's gonna influence the way you make music. Growing up in New York, you make different music than people make who grew up in Banyuwangi. Growing up in New York, you make music different from somebody who grew up in New Orleans, right? Because the pace of life in New Orleans is really laid back. It's the South, it's slower. New York is really frantic and has tons of energy. So the music is gonna change as it moves to different parts of the United States and different parts of the world. Again, it's just this thing. This music keeps changing. So 1940s are really known as the golden age for big bands, for swing music. Let's swing it. So let's
The
play.
bass changed.
Yes.
What the bass did is he started to walk the bass.
The stand is
Okay.
behind you. The stand is behind. Oh, okay. So you guys heard it in the beginning where it was 1, 3, bump, 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 bump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now, that's what walking the bass means. He's now playing all 4 beats. The other thing that's changed is Harun is now, the pianist is not doing bump, bump, right? That heaviness in the left hand goes away. The bass has the 4 notes covered. So Harun can play more melodies and syncopated beats. And what's Hans doing? Walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. Spang-a-lang, spang-a-lang, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So clap on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Not 1 and 3. Wait.
Okay, ulang.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2. Stand up. 1, 2. Feet. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So I'm moving my feet on 1 and 3. 1, 3, 1, 3, because those beats are still there. But now I clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. slow this down for me? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose when you're passing by, flowers droop and sigh, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. I don't buy sugar, 'cause you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar, so sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, how the honey fairly drips. Your convention of goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Good. Have a seat. You guys were dancing, though. You were, right? I mean, it's like, I feel like this music, I saw Esty was busting a move. You had it, Esty. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like a big part of swing dancing, that move. It's coming right out of the beat. And for me, I feel, again, my phrasing changes. Because now I'm feeling that nice bouncy beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my phrasing, even though, yes, I'm singing the melody, but I'm singing in a more rhythmic manner, if that makes sense. Every honeybee feels a jealousy now. Every honeybee feels a jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. You know, I want to imitate that boo 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 bee bee boo boo bee bee a do bee bee de do bubble bee 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 boo bee. I want to imitate that nice round bouncy beat, and that is an important thing to think about. Improvising is not just changing the melodies, right? Instead of every honeybee fills with jealousy. That's how it's written, but I could sing every honeybee fills with jealousy. It still works with the chord progression. Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. Right? So I'm changing the melody, but also I'm going to sing in a different phrasing. Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop and sigh, and I know why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. So great, thank you guys. So I can really phrase this as if I was speaking it, right? Like I'm now, the bars are off. I have the freedom to, I think it makes, for a singer, it makes it a lot more conversational. Does that make sense?
Ya, jadi kalau tadi kan nyanyi pertamanya kan beatnya ya, temponya tuh jelas ya, kayak marching gitu. Tapi ketika, jangan minta saya nyanyi ya. Jadi, tapi ketika diubah, tapi ketika I was telling, don't ask me to sing like Gabrielle.
I'm sure you could.
Tapi ketika diubah melodinya jadi tadi yang kedua ya kayak ditarik-tarik, jadi lebih kayak conversation. Jadi penyanyi itu kayak udah nggak ada tuh hitungan-hitungan tempo, tapi nyanyinya kayak lagi ngomong aja. Itu jadi pesannya lebih nyampe.
Yes, I want to move into. Yeah, of Great. Okay, so, well, you
Okay.
have the idea, man, for this.
It's something that occurs in jazz music, but it seems to occur in most musics on planet Earth as long as there's been music, is something called call and response. A simple way to explain that is if I were to say, "Hey, Gabrielle,
Hey, Pat.
what are you doing?
I'm singing a song.
And where are you?
Banyuwangi.
Banyuwangi."
Banyuwangi.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Banyuwangi, okay.
Okay. So, what happened, there's lipstick on this microphone. What happened was, so the instrumentalists would start to play call and response with each other.
In terms of improvising?
Yes.
Okay.
Like this.
Great. So I know Beta, I know you're a singer. So I think it's time. We're gonna get some people involved. Let's break the ice. And then we'll have a break, we can have lunch, we can recover. And then we're gonna come back and we'll really play some more together. So
Why don't we do it now for just a little bit, a taste of
Great.
with just two of you, then we'll go into the music.
Beta, will you come up here?
Oke, ini teman-teman kita nyoba nih ya, saut-sautan kok. Tadi kan dia bilang ada call and response. Jadi tadi Pat mainkan nada disautin sama Harun, terus-terusan. Nah sekarang kita pakai vokal. Ini supaya teman-teman nih kayak tadi ekspresinya datar terus nih teman-teman nih kayak gitu. Jadi kita mau break the ice dulu, habis itu kita ada break makan siang nanti mungkin sekitar 30 menit lagi. Dan supaya kita lebih seger ya, lebih fun di sini.
So you want to do what? On Honeysuckle Rose. So I sing a phrase. Okay, and then you, Beta, just sing it back. Yeah, for now, sing the same thing. Because I think, Pat has talked about how call and response is a concept that exists in all musics, right? It's something that exists in the music we heard this morning that you guys played. It exists in classical music, so forth and so on.
Ya, jadi kalau konsep call and response ini atau saut-sautan ini sebetulnya nggak hanya di musik jazz aja gitu, tetapi ada di semua jenis genre musik. Termasuk tadi pagi pada waktu kita di opening ceremony ada musik tradisional dan musik yang kekinian gabung juga saut-sautan, oke?
Okay.
What's very important about this is that it's the best way to learn the language of jazz, being that jazz is a language in itself. Just like if I wanted to learn Indonesian language, I would listen like crazy. I'd listen to everything that everyone's saying at all times. I would listen, use my ears to find sounds. Someone says, terima kasih, terima kasih. Hati-hati, hati-hati, okay. And I would repeat the sound. So like when we're little babies and we learn a language, we listen to our parents and we listen to our siblings, brothers and sisters, and they're all speaking the language, and we're little babies looking at them like, what are they saying? But then we start to pick up little sounds, we start to pick up words, phrases, sentences, and after a while we speak too much, okay? And it's the same thing in jazz language. And this is a little example of how to learn this language, is to steal someone else's sounds.
Ya, jadi kalau belajar musik jazz sama kayak kita belajar bahasa. Kalau teman-teman mau belajar bahasa Inggris atau kalau dari Pat belajar bahasa Indonesia, yang pertama kali kita harus lakukan apa? Mendengarkan. Jadi dengan mendengarkan kata-kata selamat pagi, diulang-ulang selamat pagi, terima kasih. Jadi dari pertama mendengar. Sama halnya dengan kita ketika belajar jazz, kita mendengarkan dulu, kemudian kita mencoba dalam tanda petik mencuri apa yang tadi kita dengar dan kita lakukan.
Okay. I don't even know how this is going to go, so don't be nervous. Yeah. Okay, okay. Not too fast. Okay, shall we try it? You're good.
Thank you.
What did you just do?
Copying.
Oh, copying.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're learning the language by the...
Yes, I did.
And she did something so nice too. You really like syncopated one of the phrases. You jumped right in, you know. So you were getting not just the sound, but the feel as well.
I didn't aware of that.
But
You did it naturally. You were thinking about it. You heard it and you did it.
that's also how we as instrumentalists learn how to play our instruments. Like if I want to learn some melodies, some jazz melodies, I will listen to a recording, and if I like what the instrumentalists are playing, if it's a saxophonist or a trumpet player or a piano player, I will listen to the little phrases and I will steal what he's playing.
Mbak Esti, should I help? Ya, jadi kalau kita mau belajar di instrumen juga sama ya Mbak ya, kita mengcopy gimana bunyinya, meniru sama seperti penyanyi.
Jadi sebenarnya tadi pesannya sih yang paling penting adalah mendengar.
So I learned the melody to that same song that Gabrielle sang.
Yeah.
What I just played was all improvised, okay? If I played that another 20 ways, it would be just as crazy. Ready? There's no mystery to it. For many years, I spent a lot of time in my room with the door locked with recordings, and I listen to recordings of sounds and melodies and rhythms and harmony that I like, and I steal it Okay, same way as Gabrielle.
I want to do the same thing I just did with Beta, but with all of you.
Oke,
Oke.
sekarang kita coba. Tadi yang disampaikan oleh Pat adalah, tadi dia mencoba improvisasi, dia menirukan melodi yang dinyanyikan oleh Gabrielle. Tapi kemudian dia melakukan improvisasi, dan itu bisa jadi banyak sekali improvisasinya. Nah, gak ada satu keajaiban atau ada magic di situ, gak ada. Tapi yang dilakukan adalah belajar. Dia masuk ke ruangan, terus di kamarnya dikunci, dia dengerin recording atau dia dengerin rekaman, diulang, sampai akhirnya dia bisa mencuri ilmunya dan dilakukan. Sama juga Harun main piano, Mas Hans tuh dimulai dari mendengar. Nah sekarang yang ingin dilakukan oleh Gabrielle, dia mencoba melakukan apa yang tadi dilakukan bareng sama Beta, tapi bersama teman-teman. Bisa ya? Bisa ya? Kita curi-mencuri ya.
We have a drummer, right?
Ada
You want to come
drummer?
up?
Maju Mas. Yeah.
And the pianist, can he?
Pianis.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Stay. Harun will stay as well. Guitar? Where was my guitar player?
Gitar, ayo dong, jangan malu.
Do you have your guitar?
Ada yang bawa gitar nggak? Ya sayang nih. Ada yang
Soru. Great to meet you.
ini di sini nggak ada yang main gitar? Ayo maju. Ya kalau malu mah rugi. Cuma sampai jam 3 loh kesempatannya loh. Ya udah kalau nggak mau nggak apa-apa deh.
Can you get your guitar for after break?
Mas yang gitaris bisa ngambil gitar nggak nanti supaya kita bisa main bareng? Sayang loh. Ada yang gitaris nggak sih sebenarnya jujur aja nih.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Ada ya udah ya. Siapa yang gitaris siapa sih yang mana? Tunjuk-tunjukkan nih. Ya ambil gitarnya nanti ya. Ada bawa gitar nggak? Ada. Ini. Ya Mas Sudi. We have a guitarist. No. Ayo dong.
You play guitar?
And yes, he does.
Yeah,
he
Great.
does.
We
He
want to
does.
hear that.
He does.
Tell me something. Why are you guys afraid to play?
Kenapa?
Ask them this.
Kenapa sih? Kenapa kok takut untuk main?
What are you afraid is going to happen? What would?
He can play jazz music.
That's why we're here, to teach you a little bit how to play jazz music,
Oke,
right?
nanti ambil gitarnya ya. Jauh nggak? Boleh ya? Boleh. Oke, yes. The answer is yes. Kita punya
The
satu
answer
orang.
is yes.
Yeay.
Yay.
Oke.
I have 4 singers, don't I? Who's my other singer?
Singers, ayo Mbak, maju kayak tadi aja santai. Ayo.
Come.
Yeay, tepuk
Thank
tangan dong
you.
ya.
I'm gonna get you guys up. Don't think you're getting out of it. You get 20 more minutes to hide, and then you have to come up. Good. Great. Yeah. Now, you want to move to a blues, or you want to stay with honeysuckle? Do a blues? Okay. So. Where were we in the history? We got to the 1940s, really. 1940s is the golden age for big bands and swing music. Remember, we were just talking about that. Duke Ellington, Count Basie, all these great big bands that had lots of horns and a rhythm section, piano, bass, drums. Now, we're going to use the blues form. Have you guys heard of the blues?
Pernah
And
dengar tentang blues?
do you know what do you think when you hear, what does that mean?
Apa yang dirasakan waktu dengerin musik blues? Calm, freedom.
Freedom.
Is imitating the
Okay.
music.
Yeah. Excellent. Now there's also Okay. I feel so lonely. Oh, I feel like I could cry. Here I am in Banyuwangi, and I'm so lonesome. Think I might just lay down and die. But here we are at this jazz workshop. I'm feeling better. All the time. Okay, so that was my terrible imitation of a blues. But really, the blues comes out of, again, African Americans, right? There's a sadness to the blues generally. Now it has changed, but when it first started, it was sad because they had extremely hard lives, and this music was a way of expressing sadness, frustration, yeah? But the blues is also a chord progression. It is a musical form. You want to talk about that for a minute? It's a simple chord progression that just repeats. So remember how we were saying one measure, or a measure and a bar, one bar of music? That's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one bar or one measure. So in the blues, you have a 12-bar blues. So those 1, 2, 3, 4 beats repeat 12 times, and it's the same chord progression.
Jadi kalau di blues itu sebenarnya ritmenya, sorry.
Yeah, no, let
Jadi kalau di blues itu sebenarnya ritmenya sama, mereka juga punya 1, 2, 3, 4 yang diulang-ulang sampai 12 kali.
So this happening underneath. That's the movement when we say like the same, it's a chord progression, is that those bass notes, it's like a cycle. 12 bars and they repeat. If you, can you start that? Ever plan to motor west? All these different songs have been written over the same cycle. Travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Anybody know this song? Get your kicks on Route 66. Centerpiece. Same chord progression. The more I'm with you, pretty baby, the more I feel my love increase. I'm building all my dreams around you. Our happiness will never cease. But nothing's any good without you. 'Cause baby, you're my centerpiece. Okay, good. So the idea is that many different melodies have been written over this same chord progression. So it's a great, it's sort of a simple form that you can do a lot with. So we're talking about the 1940s when all these big bands were popular. So we're gonna make our own big band. So how about everybody from here over? Can you do pop, pop?
Yang sini bunyi pop, pop,
pop, pop, pop, pop.
Good.
Pop, 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 pop. Don't rush that second beat.
Pelan-pelan aja, nggak usah keburu-buru.
1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Pop, 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 pop. Good. Pop, pop.
Terusin ya.
Keep singing, just bring the volume down. Bop, bop, bop. Hey, OMG. Beta,
Pelan-pelan ya.
will you sing with section 3,
Okay,
please?
okay.
Since they seem to be dying every time I walk away. Can you do it even more quietly?
Pelan-pelan, halus.
Good, good. So now, you're gonna keep doing this. Yeah. And I'm gonna, in a big band, remember how Pat said there's this big brass section, 15 horns, saxophones, trombones, trumpets. In a big band, you've got all these brass instruments playing these little lines like you guys are sort of singing. Section 3, I'm looking at you. And then one horn player gets up and solos. This is the era where the soloist really becomes well known. So let's get it going again, and I'll take a solo over this brass section, okay? Here we go. Bop, 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 bop. Better. All right, section 3. Don't die on me. Here we go. Over here. Yes? When I sing a phrase, would you sing it back?
Nyanyikan balik Pak, ngopi kayak tadi.
Fine, just sing the exact same thing as me. Yes?
Nyanyiin persis ya Pak ya.
Check.
Before lunch.
Saya lagi ngancam semua orang.
Bop, 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 bop. I know. I can tell this group wants to hide. Here we go. They have a mute. They have this thing that sticks inside the bell of the horn.
Pemain trompet biasanya punya mute.
But they can hold it so it makes it a different sound. It muffles the sound. That's why they call it a mute.
Jadi mereka bisa bunyinya bisa beda.
Or they can go like that with it over the bell. They can move it so it sort of makes like it imitates the vibrato in a human voice. So they can play. It makes that kind of sound.
Jadi kadang-kadang ditepuk-tepuk tuh biar bisa bikin bunyi seperti itu, mendirikan vibrasi manusia.
So I'm not completely crazy, just so you know. Lord, you sound really awesome. Why are you guys hiding? You sound so good. Just prepare yourselves. After lunch, I'm really going to make you guys sing. I'm so happy that I did this. Who else is back? Oh, hi. My friends. Okay. Bump. Don't run away. Bump. Bump. Yes. Bump. 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 How about you? Bump. 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 All right. Bump doo dee. Bump doo dee. Good. Get your giggles out during lunch. I'm coming back for you.
Habis makan siang ketawanya dihilangin ya.
Anybody else? I heard not me, not me. No, no. You don't see me, crazy lady. Okay, I'll spare you, but I'm gonna make you sing after lunch. I just want you to get ready. Ready? Everybody, let me hear you again. Bop, 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 bop. Good, no more. Let me hear section 2. Pop, doo doo dee ah, pop, 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 pop. Just section 1. Pop, 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 pop. Ooh. Thank you.
Okay.
What's your name?
Vina.
You sound beautiful. Vina. Great. I think we're going to take a break now, for prayers and lunch, and then we'll come back. I'm like, oh God, now I'm going to come back to an empty room now that they know I'm going to make them sing. You better all come back. That was great. That was great. We'll get, if you have an instrument, please bring the instrument with you when you come back, yeah? Anybody else? Any other instrumentalists? Violin, like anything you have, bring it with you when you come back after lunch. Good job.